Hey y'all, I know it's been forever. Let me adjust this a little bit. Let's see if that goes. Yeah, it's been a while. If you don't know, welcome to my channel. Mommy needs a time out. This is a part of my nap time series, meaning my children nap. And I'll take the opportunity to shoot a video if I can. And today I wanted to chat about sorry about the ums. I want to chat about co-parenting because I know, like, from my research anyway, I don't see a lot of videos about that, and I don't mind being transparent and sharing. But I just want to do a video just in case you're like me. I'm a divorced mom of three, and like I say, co-parenting and the struggles that I've had with co-parenting definitely caught me off guard, and I just wanted to have a space for somebody who could be going through what I've been through and going through as well, just so you know that you're not alone, you're not crazy. What's happening is kind of, like, it is messed up, but I just want to encourage you and just give you some tips that have helped me kind of get through and not get caught up in being bitter or in, like, I don't know why it's doing this glare, but yeah, or in, like, the blame game. So like I said, I'm a divorced mom of three. And once I knew that my marriage was over and there was no point of standing for it, etc., in my brain, I thought co-parenting would have been a given. Just being simple, because I just wanted my kids to have the best family life possible. So if they weren't going to have a whole family, like, like in the house, whatever, I was definitely open to having dinners once a week as a family, even to the point where when I start dating, he starts dating, we can have our partners, join as well, just have that family time. I even saw us at each other's weddings, etc. But I guess I was being naive because it's been a couple of years of co-parenting, about 2 years of co-parenting at this point, and it hasn't been easy at all. And sometimes, honestly, it doesn't feel fair. So that's what I kind of want to talk about when you are the guardian parent in a co-parenting situation. So I can say, yeah, a lot of times it doesn't feel fair because I don't have court visitation, and I don't because I feel like it's pointless. I don't feel like my ex is consistent anyway, so it's just going through those measures. And it's not like he's really going to follow through with the schedule anyway. I am going to follow through with this soon, but I have so many other things to try to get on my feet the last 2 years. That in particular, I was hoping it wouldn't have to be through the courts, but I'm thinking now it may have to be. But I've dealt with a lot. I've dealt with inconsistent, visitations and just trying to protect my children. Like, I got caught up in it. If you've done this, comment below, let me know. I've gotten caught up in when he did come around, like trying to make it like an experience for the kids. I don't know why. I almost like took ownership of just trying to make sure that they had a good father-daughter, father-son relationship. And that's one of the mistakes I made. Like, you cannot control the bond that they have with the other parent. That's not your job to do. That's their job. The most you can do is be flexible and open to working with them and giving them the opportunity to foster that relationship. Don't hinder it as long as you feel like your children are safe and it's a healthy environment for them. Don't hinder the opportunity for them to grow in their relationships, but don't take charge of making it happen. Don't feel like it's your job to plan these meetings. And I was doing things like, say people come over to see the kids and it's lunchtime, so I would set it up so it could be like a daddy-daughter, like, lunch date, make it special for her. Or whenever we did meet up, I'm like picking the events, and it's like a fun event. So they end up seeing that person has the fun person, they're the fun dad or the fun mom, whatever, because you always create that space. I have no issue with them being seen that way. That's how it's going to be most of the time, because if you're the primary parent, then you're always going to be the one in the place to be the disciplinarian, etc. So of course, they come in to have lunch, take them Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, they're going to come off as a fun parent. But I'm just saying, you don't have to go out your way to create that experience. That's their job to foster that friendship with their child. So that's one lesson I learned so far that has helped me relieve a lot of stress. Of course, I pray for my son. I pray for my daughters because we all know, scientifically, we know now the struggles that adults face when they don't have, like their father in their lives or their mother in their lives. So once again, I don't do anything to hinder it intentionally, but I'm not going to go about my way to foster it anymore. But I will cover my children in blood. I will pray over them. I'm believing God that my new partner, when he does show up, is going to play a great father role in their lives, as if they are his own children. And I'm also praying for their dad and that they're able to have that bond with him as well. So number one is don't make it your charge for them to have a relationship or a bond with the other co-parent. The second issue I faced that I wanted to talk about was when your kids get exposed to their new mates or girlfriend, boyfriend, etc. Initially, we had an agreement that we would not bring anybody around our children until the other parent was properly introduced to them, and we were both in agreement about that. And right off the bat, that was not a rule that was respected. It was disrespectful to the point where he actually took them to church with another woman, and he also lied about it. And I had to find out about it in a very negative way, and it went really ugly. And I was extremely disappointed because it's like, why, make an agreement about something and then not follow through with it. You make an agreement with something, the person doesn't follow through with it, and then they are disrespectful in their response to you, not like to you addressing the fact that they basically, violated what we agreed upon. And that's something that I had to deal with. It was very difficult, and not because of him dating or whatever that was happening with that woman. Y'all can have him. Like, I don't care about that part. But it was the fact that I thought that we were on the same page in regards to us meeting each other's mates. My children are really young. They are 6, 4, and 2. When that initially happened, they were only like 5, 3, and baby was a couple of months old. He probably was like, just about 1 or almost 1 years old. So it was, and my son has special needs, and I'm very cautious about people that I have my children around. I don't let them be around just anybody. And I don't trust his judgment when it comes to those things. I don't feel like he's always responsible in that regard and who he has around the children. And the fact that we agreed upon it, and he just took away my right to vet who's going to be so close around my children. And that's, whatever, but then he was even disrespectful when I expressed that. So when I spoke to a pastor about the situation, he said something to me that honestly, it gave me the freedom I needed to not let that paralyze me or to get me bitter or let me get caught up in any kind of anxiety or, fear of like when my children are with him. Because at this, basically what he said was, what he did was wrong. The pastor told me that what my ex-husband did was wrong, but because he's right, like we did have an agreement and he violated it. So basically he was like, I have to operate moving forward, just like, even though knowing whatever we agreed upon, just knowing that he's probably not gonna abide by the rules that we put together. Like he's already making it clear, like he's just not gonna, he can agree to it, but you just know that he's probably not gonna follow through. But the best thing that I can do is to, once again, pray for my children, cover my children in the blood of Jesus, and to pray for their protection and for their angels to cover them whenever they're in their father's custody. Because I have to operate this knowing that he's probably going to do it. Like, I'm not going to, I took away the expectation that even though I would properly, and even to this day, when I do meet somebody, I'm still going to introduce them to their dad before I bring my kids around. Not for approval or anything, but I just think it's a respectful thing to do when you have somebody around somebody else's children. But so basically, after the chat with the pastor, it gave me a lot of relief, some sadness in the beginning, because it's like, it's not fair that you're making, you know what I mean? Like, you're trying to make play with somebody to raise your children together, and they're not respecting the plans that you're putting based on how they feel or whatever. So I have no expectation of him ever doing that, like, respectfully presenting somebody to me that is supposedly serious before you bring around the children. I operate as if he's bringing a new chick around him every time he has them. Like, that's how I operate. Like I said, I just have to pray over them and cover them, and just, make sure I see them head to toe before they leave my sight, and I check them head to toe when they come back when they come back to my home, and I communicate with them, and I just make sure that they're not in distress or anything. But that was a game changer. That was a game changer for me, because it took away that fear of, oh my God, who got one of my kids? Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I just know he's shiesty, he's going to do it. You know what I mean? And I'm believing God to protect my children, and that's all I can do. And that just definitely it gives you a lot of freedom, just not being caught up in what he's doing, you know what I mean, or who he's bringing around, because you just already know that he's going to do it. If at any point I feel like my children are being disrespected, that they are in harm's way, they're not in a healthy environment, they're just not going to go, and I'll deal with it with the courts, you know what I mean. So I'm at the point where I'm just not stressing about it anymore. I'm just going to follow protocol and act accordingly as needed. So those are the 2 tips I'm going to leave with you today. And one more thing about that is, if the person you were dating was a liar while you were dating them, don't expect for them to all of a sudden not be a liar when you're no longer with them. That's like clutch. And that's where I was stupid, because there was a lot of lies during our dating relationship, even during our marriage, even more so. So, so I was like, what? That is kind of dumb for me all of a sudden to expect him to be truthful when he was never truthful to begin with. You know what I mean? So, of course, God could change anybody. As long as you keep God in your heart, He could change you, therapy, medication, etc. But if none of that is happening, I'm not going to expect anything out of you that I couldn't expect or receive when I actually was with you. Now, that's a game changer. So this is the first Naptime series, and I'll be back hopefully next week with another one. I definitely plan to do like an intro video as well. If you have any questions, any comments, please leave them down below. Please subscribe and like this video, and please share it with your friends and your family. Any other topics you want me to cover about co-parenting, let me know and I will chat about it. And then if you know any tips that can help me out, let's go. But what I want to say, the first one is, don't have any expectations about how it's going to be. No matter how much you go out your way for it to be peaceful, you have no control over the other person. And if they weren't a peaceful or a team player when you were with them, don't expect that to happen when you're co-parenting right off the bat. You know what I mean? And 2, like I said, it's the same thing. Expectations. Like, if they were a liar when you were dating them, they're going to be a liar when you're not dating them. Unfortunately. Is it fair? No. It's the cards that we dealt, yes. But we're not going to be stressed out while we're going through it. So this is going to be the combo for Naptime series, co-parenting. Surviving the beginnings of co-parenting young children. Have a blessed one, y'all. Bye.